So a few years ago, not gonna lie, I used to be really skinny. My arms and legs literally looked like golf bats, right? And overall, I served no physical threat, right? Bigger guys would often try to intimidate me just because they're bigger, right? They would try to like grab me, pull me, whatever, right? I remember to this day when in kindergarten, no, it wasn't in kindergarten, shit, it was in primary, right? I remember in primary to this day when me and like other kids used to play around, and one thing we would often do is the bigger kids would grab they would grab me by the legs and pretend that I'm a fucking sword, and they would literally hit other kids with it. I know kids used to be stupid back in the day, but I mean, that's just the way kids are, I guess, right? But at one point, not gonna lie, I genuinely got fucking sick of this identity that I am this short guy. It was so deeply implanted into my mind. And whilst I couldn't do much about my height, what I could do is I could improve my appearance, my physique. And that's exactly what I ended up doing. Around 2 years ago, that's when I started weightlifting, and I remember 1 year into lifting, slightly less than that, I started training boxing as well. And nowadays, whilst I'm certainly not the biggest, right, I still weigh around 155 pounds, which is 70 kilograms, at the height of 171 centimeters. But I'm gonna tell you a quick story, right? Because literally just a few hours ago, matter of fact, when I was still at school, I remember I was just walking through the corridor, and as this other guy that I met at school was walking the opposite way, we were supposed to like go past each other. As I'm just walking normally, like not trying to look big or anything, right? As stupid as it may sound, I was just walking normally. And as I was about to high five this dude, he walks up to me and he's like trying to intimidate my my broad shoulders, like, which to me was funny because the contrast to me in my mind is so significant, right? I used to be the fucking small guy all the time, and now I have people complimenting me for how big I am, right? Which to me is massive. But to keep it as simple and short as I can for you, the way you earn others' confidence is by doing things that they know are difficult. For me, for example, right? I used to be a small guy in my own life, so finally being able to climb through this not disability, to climb through this obstacle that was in my way, it was very significant. Like, if there's a 225-pound guy watching this video who's been big his entire life, because I can't use the word fat on YouTube, yeah, this brother's gonna have a significantly harder time building the physique than a kid who has already been athletic most of his life, and it only takes him like 3 months to build a physique, right? It's severely different. Everyone's starting point is different. Therefore, I really don't like when people compare each other, right? Because everyone's journey is different. Now, comparing is a normal thing for guys, right? Like that's just something we will always do. That's a masculine trait. But when you really think about it, you can't compare somebody's point 1 whilst your point 1 could be somebody's like level 20 already. You get what I mean? So the way you get others' respect is by doing things that they know are difficult. Something that when people see, they are really, really impressed, right? The physique is a great example of this, but I have an even better story from just a few days ago because I met this one guy who, I'm not gonna lie, he looked pretty skinny. I'm just gonna come out and say, the first time I met him, I didn't think he was strong in any way. He just looked like a slim guy who just started to lift weights. But after the few times that I like met up with him, I remember one time we were walking past this pull-up bar, and this slim guy, right? The moment he grabbed the pull-up bar, he started to like bust out muscle-ups for reps like it's nothing. And whilst all the other guys who were there who already knew that he could do muscle-ups, they were just sitting there and they're like, yeah, whatever, you're still skinny. But I was sitting there and I was like staring him into the soul. Like, I thought I was watching a superhero right now because this stuff's so cool to me, right? Like, I remember I landed my first muscle up like 3 months ago, but it was very crappy, right? I landed one muscle up in my entire life, right? Now, it wasn't like a chicken wing. It was actually a clean rep, but I had to fight for it really hard. It took me like 3 seconds in this position to actually push myself up, right? And here you have this small guy who was like busting out muscle-ups. That was very impressive to me. And another great example that I can give you is this very YouTube channel. whilst I'm definitely not the biggest on YouTube, right? I do have that one video that's close to 1 million views, which is pretty cool, right? And whilst I don't show my YouTube channel that much to people in my real life, right? Because I prefer to keep business and personal life separate, self-explanatory enough. I remember the one time when my dad told one of his friends about my YouTube channel, and he started to ask me about it. And when he asked me how many views I make, and I showed him that one video that's nearly at 1 million views, he was also staring at me with those giant eyes, right? Funny enough, his daughter was also there too, and she was like, "You have 1 million views?" Which is like, it's cute, right? It's really fun, but this should give you an idea on how you actually get people to respect you. You do things that they know take a lot of effort. As long as they can see the hard worker in you, they will know not to mess with you, right? If you saw Ronnie Coleman, prime Ronnie Coleman, walking through the street like giant as shit, even if he doesn't know how to fight, you would respect him. Because if that dude grabbed you by the neck, he could squeeze it like a lemon. He could grab you and toss you to the other side of the room, right? That's how you get people's respect. By doing the things that they know take effort. The only issue is that you have to put in the effort. Nothing comes in easy, right? If you have no achievements to your name and you're just a loser, sorry to break it to you, but what people see is what you get. Simple as that. I really don't like to call people losers on the internet because that's like, I mean, if you're like a level 1 guy with truly nothing to your name, then I totally don't blame you if you're getting disrespected, because I used to be in the exact same spot. Back just a few years ago, all I used to do was play video games. All I used to do is just sit in my house, play video games, text that one girl on Snapchat, praying that I'm gonna get a response. It's just the way it is. The choices that you make about your life truly have an impact long term. And once you actually start making the positive choices and slowly accumulate towards that goal, within a few days, months, years, you never know how long, but once you will start to see progress, that motivation spike you will get is gonna lead you to all the success. Trust me, it took me around 2 years to build a physique. And once I started to see the smallest of progress, right? I remember looking at this image, thinking that I'm the biggest guy in the world, right? That I'm gonna be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger within like 2 days. Of course, that's unrealistic, right? But yeah, I'm gonna say this one more time so it truly drills into your mind. The way you earn people's respect is by doing things that they know are difficult. Of course, that's not the only way to earn respect, right? There are many other attributes, right? Some people are born bigger, some people are this, some people are that. But the general rule, right? Probably the only rule you need on how to get respect is just do the things that people know are difficult, right? Like imagine, I don't know, this is a random example, right? But imagine you have like every license. That's a very extreme example, right? But imagine somebody digging through your wallet and they see like pilot's license, driving license, gun license, like scuba diving license. That's an idea that I had for a long time. I want to do lots of different licenses when I'm an adult. Just like imagine how many cool stories you would have to tell. Work on things that take effort and have some genuine goals to your name so that they can actually talk about, so that people can see. Well, people don't have to see it, but as long as they know that you have something to your name, they won't treat you the same way they do right now. Trust me on that. But yeah, I really hope I didn't waste your time. And if you want to talk to me directly whilst hanging around the absolute best community we have on the entire internet, please join the Discord server. Trust me, this is a perfect place for you to network with other guys who can totally relate to your story, whilst also getting multiple opportunities to talk to me. As I said, whether if that's for our weekly voice calls or if that's for our text messages. So don't worry about that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to, you can click all the videos. You can subscribe as well. I've seen the comments, boys. I've seen the comments. The cat is still alive. Just letting you know, the cat's doing real good, right? But yeah, as I said, hopefully I didn't waste your time, and I'll see you in the next video.